Hey, welcome back. Portraits, or drawing the human head. Yeah, it's really tough. At least, I think it's pretty tough. Or maybe I just suck. But both things can be true, I guess. But yeah, drawing the human head is really tough. And that was the theme of this week. If you don't know, or if you're new, Concept Core is hosting a little summer training camp. 8 weeks of drawing. Each week is a different theme, a different topic. And this week is all about portraits. So that's what we all drew for 7 days straight. And today I'm going to tell you about how I sucked and how I got slightly less worse. So yeah, that's the intro. Let's get into it. So I think the first thing that makes my faces suck, at least initially, was that one, I look at way too much stylized work. My brain and my visual library is just only comprised of stylized stuff, like illustrators and how they draw faces, anime and manga, or just general animation, whatever, right? Or even, portraits of people, or people's portraits that they draw online, you know? There's a lot of stylized work there. So that's all I know. So when I'm trying to draw as I see it in the reference photo, it's obviously a lot more difficult. I think what also made me suck is that I just don't practice it enough. You know, it's something that I have avoided drawing for so many damn years. So having to draw it now, it's, we had a rocky start, in my opinion. The early drawings really, really sucked. And what made them suck at first was that I was putting details on a sphere, essentially. I think a lot of us know about the Loomis method, where you kind of draw the ball and then you extend the jaw down and, you cut it into thirds and whatever, right? But that's not what the entire head is looks like. It's a lot more detailed than that. There's the eye sockets, and then there's the cheekbones, and then like your jaw creates certain angles and planes. And the head is rarely that round and that smooth. And when you put details on a face like that, it can look like you're just putting details on like a flat canvas, essentially, which is not what the head is. And that's essentially what I did for the first couple drawings. But after like the second or third day, I started looking at what other artists were doing, and I noticed that a lot of people were constructing the head with very distinct planes. And that's what I started to do. I started to really force my brain to think about the head in 3D. 3D shapes, 3D planes and angles, and I think that really, really helped me construct the head so that I could put the details on later. Now, I don't really know... I don't know the skull and how it's constructed by heart. I have a vague idea in my head, I guess. But what I'm trying to say is, constructing the head in 3D and making sure I got the planes right and getting the angles down, it made putting the details on a lot easier. Because before, again, I think a lot of people, they kind of just do the Loomis method, but they just start with the ball, extend the jaw down, and then just put details on, but it still looks very flat. Because the face is comprised of a lot of different angles and surfaces. And it's not as smooth as you think. So yeah, that helped me a ton. And obviously looking at how other people were constructing the face. I saw this one person, I still don't really understand, but they have like from your brow and then your top of the cheekbone to like the top of your mouth, they angle it down like a diamond or a triangle. I didn't really understand what that was mapping, but I did notice people do that. So if you know, just let me know, I guess. Yeah, so then I kept practicing, and just like I said before, if you suck at something, give yourself more time. At first, I gave myself 5 minutes per drawing because I thought that was more than enough. But at the end, I started just doing from 10 to 15 minutes. And I definitely got a lot faster near the end. But I needed so much more time to let things stick in for me to really absorb what's going on. And so I'll keep championing that, which is give yourself more time if you suck at something. I only gave myself 5 minutes at first, and that was like nothing. Because the head is really complex. I'd say it's as complex as and important as like the entire body in its entirety. Maybe even more so, because there's a lot of details to the face. Plus the body, the proportions and the ratio and whatever between things, it doesn't matter as much as the head. Like if I'm drawing a body, I can make the legs like 30% longer, maybe the hands like 20% bigger, the head's 10% smaller, and for most people, it will probably still look fine. But the moment I draw the head and like anything, even individually or in relationship to other details, like if they're slightly off, like the whole thing just looks so weird. So yeah, that's why I think the head is so tough. Plus drawing specific people too is really tough as well. Every person's face is so unique. So it's really hard to capture the likeness of a certain person, you know? Like we can all construct a face with the Loomis method, but even that's not like a universal formula. Some people have really small ears. Some people's jaws are a lot longer, you know? Or the chin is a lot shorter. And not everybody's face is perfectly divided into threes, right? So yeah, that's also probably why heads are so hard to draw. Like some of my drawings, I'm trying to draw an Asian dude, just don't look Asian at all, not even close. Yeah. So, you know, you can technically get a lot of stuff right while you're drawing the face, but again, if you just get a little bit of the proportions off for certain things, it'll just look off and it just won't look like the person you were drawing. And in addition to just getting it technically correct as well, just the technical execution of drawing certain details. Like for example, for some reason, I just can't draw eyes. I don't know why. I'm not going to give up on them, obviously, but you know, my confidence was growing for like the cheekbones and like the whole construction of the head. I'm like, okay, I'm getting there. But the moment it came to the eyes, I just couldn't. They just look so off. I'm not really sure why. And there's like this insane balance between, you know, putting too much detail to where it just sticks out like a sore thumb, and putting too little detail where it looks too stylized, but then it looks very flat. You know, there's genuinely some kind of perfect Goldilocks middle ground that I haven't figured out yet. Probably just a lot more practice. But yeah. And also, I think drawing heads, what also makes them so interesting is that everybody has their own preference for details and what to and to not omit, you know? Like, obviously, a lot of illustrators, they omit the nose. The nose is just this thing that aesthetically is like probably the ugliest thing about the human head. But there's a lot of ways to subtly, you know, include the details of the nose and to not give them all like the same, you know, small nose anime look, right? Like, a lot of noses are super round and they're like this big, you know, triangle shape, but it can still look really good. So yeah, that's what also makes heads so much more complex. You know, your stylization, your preferences, what details to and to not include, and what you want to exaggerate and stuff. And plus, again, an even extra layer on why heads are so hard is that, you know, people want their faces to look really good, and there's like a certain aesthetic, right? Like even me, I'm like, man, I really want these people to look really nice and good, but also I'm executing it poorly, but also I'm like changing things too much, whatever. And I don't know if this is a problem that everybody has, but you know, when I'm drawing the head, I'm unconsciously drawing myself. Like I have really big ass ears, so I just give everybody big ears, even though a lot of the models I'm looking at, they have small ears, and that's it. Or really round cheeks. A lot of people don't have round cheeks, you know. Again, that's what adds to the complexity of heads. But after 7 days of drawing portraits for a long ass time, you know, I still suck, but I definitely suck less. And just to recap, hopefully I put notes on the side somewhere, is that 1, construct the head. Absolutely, you need to get that before anything else. Construct it in 3D, and that's it. And then 2, the angles and the planes. Personally, that helped me so much. Again, the head isn't a perfect sphere. It's like, I mean, just look over the head, but it's a lot more angled than you think. And once I got those angles figured out, like the sharp turn from the forehead to like the side, and you know, your cheekbone, doing this like diagonal cut down and whatever, right? Once I was able to put all those down, then putting the details on top became so much easier. So that helped me a lot. So do that. And yeah, just give yourself more time. I don't know. Don't do these in like 5 minutes. And yeah, look at how other people are constructing the head too. So yeah. Anyways, that's week 2 of Concept Core's summer training camp. I learned a lot. And yeah, I'm excited for the next one, which is, let me see here. What is it? It's Master Studies. So I guess I'll see you next week for Master Studies, whatever that looks like. So yeah. Anyways, take care. Bye-bye.